Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to the Accelerated Health TV and Radio Show. I'm your host, Sara Banta. I'm a wife, a busy mom of three, and the founder of the cutting edge and award-winning supplement brand Accelerated Health Products. This podcast is more than just a source of information. It's a community for you and those looking to optimize their health. I release new episodes live every Monday and Tuesday and a bonus one on Thursday. So remember to subscribe and add to your playlist so you never miss a show. And join my free health group coaching on Telegram. There's no downside. You hear other people's experiences. You get your questions answered, and I post on a daily basis to get you learning daily. So it really sets in and you understand your health, because the goal is to become in control of your own body. Doctors can only do so much. And I've had my own issues with that, where I've had to find out my own answers for me, for my three kids, for my husband, for extended family, and for you. So that is a place that's free and will only empower you. So make sure you share this podcast with your friends and family. Share the link to the Telegram group. Tell people there's no you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to pay a fee to join. It's amazing. And it's not censored. So there you go. So today we are talking about one of my favorite topics, and that's pooping. Why? Well, okay, I'm a mom of three. What do you focus on when that baby comes out? You focus if they're eating, if they're sleeping, and if they're pooping, right? There's still a conversation amongst my adult children. Hey, did you poop today? Why? Because that is a sign of health. And aging parents, I know that when I'm talking to my parents, it's a big deal if they poop that day. And if they're able to go out and do their activities, if they have not gone to the bathroom yet, or how they're feeling. Because constipation can cause you to feel icky, to feel stuck. It can affect your thyroid, your absorption of nutrients, your energy. Just feeling icky and painful down there is no fun anyway. So what is constipation? Maybe you think you aren't constipated, but maybe you are. Constipation is defined by having less than 3 poops per week. Oh my goodness. If I had 3 poops a week only, I'd die. That is not healthy. So if your baby was only pooping 3 times a week, wouldn't you worry? Yes. Well, the goal for optimal digestion, and yes, constipation and bowel movements is part of digestion and detox and overall health, is to have 2 to 3 bowel movements per day, and complete ones where you feel like, oh, that's it. You know, I notice if I'm constipated, I'm not just constipated, but I'm retaining water in my fingers and all of my extremities, because that bowel stuckness will cause everything to be backed up. Your water retention, your inflammation, all of that. So pooping more than once a day is what you want to be doing. Having 2 to 3 bowel movements per day is optimal. This is poop and constipation not only pose serious health risks, but it can affect your mood, your activities, like I said, quality of life. I mean, do you really want to go for a run if you feel like you're about to have a bowel movement or you're constipated and icky? No, I don't. I want to stay close to home. I want to do exercises that are maybe not so difficult. It is a huge thing for a lot of people, and it's becoming a bigger deal for more people than ever, because 70% of our diet is processed food. It's not real food, and it's affecting everything that's going on in this body of ours. And then it causes mental issues, right? It will cause mood issues, anxiety, even depression if you don't have regular bowel movements. Just ask your friend. I mean, I know very few people who will say, I don't even think about pooping. It's not a big deal to me. whether I poop or not. A lot of people do, and it's a problem. It affects more women than men, for sure. So what are the causes? Because we got to look at the causes, then the solutions, right? So number one, microbes. We've talked a lot about gut health. Make sure you go back and listen to my episodes with Stephen Wright and Kiran Krishnan, both amazing experts. We'll talk about some of the supplements that they bring to the table for this, but it's all about the microbiome. In the digestive system, you have approximately 4 to 5 pounds of microbes handling about 90% of the food breakdown during digestion. If you've taken antibiotics or at any point have experienced stress, who doesn't, your microbial balance can be compromised. That causes leaky gut. Even just eating one meal out will actually cause leaky gut from the seed oils, from the artificial ingredients, from the things that are not that regular whole food that I talk about, especially looking at that accelerated food guide free for your viewing of a list of foods that are good for your gut and the ones to stay away from. So for some individuals, an overgrowth of the harmful bacteria in the gut can worsen with excessive fermentation from foods like sauerkraut. Oh my goodness, I used to love eating sauerkraut. Yogurt, drinks like kombucha. I was at the market yesterday and I saw someone get a whole bunch of kombucha in their cart, thinking they're doing something healthy. My goodness, I miss kombucha. So delicious, but it wrecks me. That can actually cause you to be bloated and even feeling bloated after taking probiotics may indicate that an imbalance is happening in your gut microbiome. Probiotics can be giving you too much of a good thing and not enough of everything. And we're going to talk about what type of probiotic is the right one to use. So make sure you stay till the end, because the wrong probiotics, the ones the doctors are giving you, the ones that are at Whole Foods on the counter, they all are from reputable companies. They could be causing your situation to be worse. So another cause is bile. This is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder, and the bile's job is to help fat digestion. So you can actually feel if your gallbladder is full of bile and it's sitting there waiting for that steak or that fatty meal, and it's going to help that fat to be digested, assimilated, and push through, and that will also push through a bowel movement. So symptoms like nausea, constipation, right shoulder pain, or bloating after consuming fat could signal that you have low bile levels and that you might need a liver flush. That's why we talk about liver flushes. And that's one thing I'll just mention is every time I do my liver flush, my constipation issues are so much less. And I don't need supplements to help with pooping. It actually is like, okay, I'm a clean, fueled machine now. And that sluggish liver is now optimized. And not only is your thyroid going to work better in your metabolism, but actually you're going to push through the bowel movements much easier after those liver flushes. So having a sluggish liver will inhibit the fat metabolism. And so I don't usually recommend a high fat ketogenic diet for most people, especially since the spike protein has now infiltrated itself into our world, and most of us have it in us. Actually, everybody does, regardless of who you are, and that is affecting your liver health. But a lot of people have noticed that there's more inflammation in the body, more brain issues, but also more constipation and that unexplained weight gain. Well, unexplained weight gain, one of the causes is the toxins, because our body uses fat cells to encapsulate toxins from the environment, from our food, from everything, and to store it as fat. Well, if you're not pooping, guess what happens to all those toxins in your stool? Gets reabsorbed on top of the new toxins that you're taking in. So it's like a double whammy. So you might be more constipated than you were before 2020. Just something to think about. Stomach acid can cause, or a lack of it can cause, constipation. Insufficient stomach acid is affecting most people from diet, from the processed foods, from the stress, from age. And I need extra stomach acid. And oh my goodness, I'm taking the HCL Guard. We're going to talk about it. That has been a life changer for me. I feel amazing, no bloat. My food is assimilated so quickly. I'm seeing a difference in my energy and my nutrient absorption, but also my constipation issues. Contrary to what you probably have been thinking, is if you have acid reflux or GERD, that's actually from low stomach acid. So the flap that lets the acid come up your throat is actually so weak if there's not enough acid down here, so it'll come up. And yes, it's still acid, but it's not as acidic as it needs to be to kill those microbiome or the bad pathogens down in your gut, like E. coli, salmonella. A funny story, I was just on vacation and I was eating food that normally triggers parasites or, and that's pork, or some sort of gut pathogen. Normally I'm bloated, constipated, feel icky for the next few days unless I do something about it. I just took extra HCL with that meal, felt great, no issues, whatever. So that might be a clue into the fact that you need a little more stomach acid to be breaking down your food and helping with the constipation. Fiber can be a cause or a lack of fiber, either or. It's like the Goldilocks, not too much, not too little, that is affecting your constipation and your bowel movements. Fiber feeds your microbes, and it's not solely for promoting the bowel movements. And like I mentioned, too much, too little, you got to have the right amount. Carnivores claim that they have no problem with bowel movements and they're not eating any fiber. And then you've got people that are vegans that are eating tons and tons of fiber from vegetables and grains, and they're constipated. So a funny story is when I was at my rock bottom, it was all about my gut, IBS, Crohn's disease. I definitely had issues with constipation. And the doctor said, oh, just take Metamucil. Okay, I had tried that. Doesn't work on its own. I have friends today that have done too many laxatives. And now if they don't take something, they'll just not poop at all. They go on a trip, they won't poop for a week. They need to do colonics to get everything out. So it's really important to clue into your body and try to figure out what is causing the issue. There is hope if you've gotten to that place where you are dependent on those laxatives. We'll talk about this in a minute, but fiber is something that is misunderstood when it comes to bowel movements. The wrong vegetables. So all vegetables are healthy, right? No. So certain vegetables can exacerbate the constipation, leaky gut, bloating, depending on your genetics or your current state of health. The spike proteins made everything worse. Most people should be staying away from those sulfur vegetables like the cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale. The lectins, the ones that I'm worried about are more of the grains and the beans and not so much the cucumbers or the bell peppers. Those usually are fine for people. Oxalates, kale, spinach, almonds, most nuts. And sometimes the nightshade family can be a problem for people, but sulfur and oxalates are ones where we are finding with this modern day diet and the spike protein, most people are not able to eat, and they're causing more issues than just constipation. It is not normal to be bloated. I've heard people say, well, I have my green drink because it's healthy. I'm bloated every time, but that's normal. That's okay. That is your body signaling you. So you need to clue in to your signals. Everybody is different, and your doctor doesn't know you as well as you know you. So you want to think, okay, when I eat dairy, is there a breakout in my skin? Am I constipated? Am I inflamed? You might be fine with dairy and your sister might have an issue. I've got that in my own family. You might be better with cashew milk or oat milk. This is something where you really need to think how you feel when you take in these foods. So when you take in these wrong vegetables, you're not even getting the nutrients that you think you're getting because they're causing leaky gut. So you're not absorbing the nutrients, and our soils are completely depleted of the nutrients they had 50 years ago. You would have to eat a ton more broccoli to get the amount that you used to get. So we're getting our nutrients from the meats, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But these vegetables, eat the ones that feel good in your tummy, that you like, and that you enjoy. Don't focus on the vegetables for the nutrients, okay? So what are the complications from constipation? You can have that abdominal pain, cramping, the stool accumulates in the colon, and straining during the bowel movements may actually make things worse, that rectal pain worse. You might get bloating and gas, that stuck, trapped gas. There's nothing more uncomfortable than trapped gas up in your ribs. That is like because things aren't moving, right? So the accumulation of stool and mucoid plaque in the colon can trigger bloating and excessive gas production, causing discomfort. You can also have SIBO, which where you're getting the good bacteria in the wrong place in the small intestine. So that could be part of the problem. Bad breath. So because you have so many toxins and waste in your body, it could cause bad breath, which no one wants. A decreased appetite. I know for me, if I haven't pooped, I'm not as hungry. So it's nice to get it out so you can put more in. And I've seen that with my children where they feel full, but they haven't eaten. And that's because there's just more stuff in your body. And that's makes things difficult. Being fatigued or irritable. So you could have disrupted sleep if you're constipated. You could have mood swings. I know I'm no fun to be around. If I haven't pooped that day, it makes me irritable. And if you have an incomplete evacuation, so if you poop, but it's not a full one, this is just kind of uncomfortable. You feel like something's there, but it's not all the way out. And actually, when I talked about the regular waste that is stuck there and being reabsorbed in the bloodstream, that's also including the estrogen, the bad estrogens, causing estrogen dominance like man boobs and weight accumulating around the hips and the thighs for women. And toxic overload, because the bowel movements are the primary way for the body to rid itself of the toxins from the GMOs, the heavy metals, radiation, other environmental toxins. So remember, when your body has toxins from your food, from the environment, what's it going to do? It's going to create new fat cells, or it's going to use the existing ones and make them bigger, overstuffing them with these toxins. And those toxins, without calories or sugar, can actually cause insulin resistance at the level of the cell because they're so overstuffed. Then glucose tries to come into the cell. Insulin tries to open the door to let the glucose or the sugar from your diet to get into the cell. And the cell says, no, I'm already overstuffed, which is going to cause insulin resistance. So even if you're on a low sugar diet, you could be getting insulin resistance from all of these toxins. Constipation is only going to make this worse. So obviously, I don't need to say the fact that chronic constipation is going to impact your daily activities, work performance, social interactions. You might not want to go out to a restaurant to be with people because the food is going to make you feel bad. You might not want to go on a trip because of constipation issues, away from your bathroom, away from your tricks to get you going, or a colonic. A lot of people are, like I mentioned, are dependent on those colonics, anal fissures. So constipation can also cause these small tears in the anus or in the lining known as anal fissures. They're painful, they cause bleeding, and then the bleeding with the waste coming out can cause an infection because that waste is dirty, it's toxic. And long-term constipation can lead to, obviously, the dependence on laxatives or enemas, and that's going to affect your normal bowel habits. Hemorrhoids. So straining during bowel movements during constipation can increase the risk of hemorrhoids, and there's swollen and inflamed veins in the rectum and anus, very painful. You can also get a rectal prolapse, which can cause the muscles and the tissues in the rectum to weaken. And that leads to where the part of the rectum protrudes from the anus. Fecal impaction. I actually know someone who had to go to the hospital because this happened, where the mass of the stool, without going, the water gets out of that stool and it just gets like solid rock. And then more poop comes down, creates more solid rock. And then it's like no laxative is going to do a thing. And even a colonic might not even be able to move it, because the goal in your stools is to have enough fluid or water to help it move through nice and smooth and have those stools soft. This obviously increases your risk for colon cancer and UTIs. So constipation can lead to difficulty emptying the bladder fully, increasing your risk of urinary tract infections. It's actually very common when you poop to urinate at the same time, because they're both in that same area and one might be blocking the other. You might get more rectal bleeding, which, like I said, anytime you have bleeding, you have an open area to let the toxins back into the body. Hernias. So that can increase the intra-abdominal pressure, which can cause hernias to happen in the groin or abdominal wall. And it's not fun, right? There's nothing fun about it. Decreases your quality of life. But with all these risks that we've talked about, there's confusion. Do I take supplements to help with bowel movements, or do I stop? Are they dangerous? What do I do? Well, the answer is both, but you want to stay away from some things and not become dependent. But all in all, it's better to poop than not to poop. So you want to get the toxins out. But let's look at the side effects of the wrong things, the laxatives. Becoming dependent on them, that colon is becoming reliant on these laxatives to produce the bowel movements. So then eventually, it just like alcohol, your tolerance is going to go up. You're going to need more and more and more, right? It's going to cause an electrolyte imbalance. So the laxatives work by drawing in water into the intestines, leading to dehydration and electrolyte issues, and just dehydration in general. Decreased bowel function. So it's going to cause the colon to become less responsive to normal stimuli. And we want that peristalsis, the muscles. So just like training your biceps at the gym, the more you strengthen your muscles, the stronger they'll be, right? So if you are using laxatives to go poop, those muscles are not getting used in the bowel, and they're going to be going, well, I don't need to do this anymore. She's taking care of it with these laxatives. And you can actually have damage to the colon. They can damage the nerves and muscles in the colon. So that is also a big issue. Malabsorption. So you're going to speed up the bowel movements. It's going to decrease the absorption of nutrients from food, leading to malnutrition. And the whole digestive system. So it can disrupt the natural balance of bacteria in the gut, leading to full digestive issues and symptoms like bloating, gas, and abdominal pain. It can even affect all of your organs, like the kidneys and the heart. So what do we do? The goal is to poop. The goal is to fix our digestive system. The goal is to do it safely and also support it with the right diet. So we're going to first talk about the supplements, but then the diet. The first supplement, I don't have it handy, is the magnesium, magnesium in general. But I love the BioOptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough because it has 7 different types of magnesium. Your body, most of you, 80% of you, including me, are deficient in magnesium. We need it. So magnesium helps with constipation. It's non-dependent. It's not a laxative. It helps relax the muscles, helps relax your brain. That's why people use it for sleep. It helps relax them and helps the movement of the stool through the intestines, making it easier. And it draws water into the intestines, softens the stools, and increases its bulk. And it helps alleviate that constipation by making it easier to pass. It also stimulates peristalsis, and that's the muscles in the colon. This is the wave-like muscle contractions that propel stools through the intestines. Magnesium is an electrolyte. It's part of that salt, sodium, magnesium combination, potassium, that will affect the balance of water and stools in your body. It regulates fluid balance, and that is important for maintaining the healthy bodily or bowel function. It supports gut health, and that will also help promoting the growth of good bacteria in the intestines. Without a healthy gut, you're going to have issues, right? And it can also help relieve abdominal discomfort. Like I mentioned, the BioOptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough, it's on Accelerated Health Products. It's very gentle, and it has all 7 types of magnesium for different functions of the body, not just constipation. That's why I love it. Even if you do not have constipation issues, it is very important to be taking a very good magnesium supplement. And that's why I like this, because it has all 7 types of magnesium. No other supplement does, for the functions of magnesium. And like I said, most of you, 80% of the population, are deficient. It contributes to more than 600 biochemical reactions in the body. The body needs magnesium. If you work out at all, if you're stressed, you probably need more. The second supplement is the OxyClear, and it will soon be replaced with Accelerated Oxy Blast, which I'm super excited about, because we're going to improve on the supplement. Anytime there's room for improvement, that's what we do. So unlike the BioOptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough, it only contains the one form of magnesium meant to help with constipation and detoxification. It is not meant to fill your magnesium needs, okay? It provides a gentle, natural constipation relief. It's part of the liver flush cleanse, because on the last day, you take a lot of it to make sure you are flushing all those stones out of the gallbladder and having major diarrhea. That's the goal for one day, to get everything out. That's what we use, is the OxyClear, soon to be OxyBlast. The Laxacomfort. So this is something, it's an Ayurvedic formula. I've used it for years. Naturally, it helps with bowel movements for people with severe constipation. I had a friend come to me, Sarah, you don't have anything that's going to help me. I can go a week without pooping. Nothing works. I've tried everything. I've been to the doctor, everything. I said, just try Laxacomfort. And the next day she goes, you just saved my life. Literally. She goes, I've never pooped so much in my entire life, and it's consistent, and it makes you go every single day. It can work in combination with the BioOptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough and the OxyClear. That's why I like the combination, depending on where you are in your healing journey with bowel movements. Laxacomfort, the strongest, then the OxyClear is the second strongest, and then the Magnesium Breakthrough. So I like to titrate down the Laxacomfort as you're getting better. Some of you don't need it at all. Some of it, one, is too strong. So something to think about. Now, the Accelerated Ancient Salt. You're thinking, well, why would salt help with constipation? Have you ever heard of a salt flush? You do major salt in water, a whole bunch for a day, you're going to poop. Most people are dehydrated and don't have the sufficient electrolytes in their body, and that can make constipation worse. So having that salt flush, or just using more salt in general, a high quality, unrefined salt like Accelerated Ancient Salt, will help. It has an osmotic effect, so it draws the water into the intestines, increases that fluid to help the stools move. It also causes the muscle contractions. Electrolytes are needed for your muscles. That's why you take the salt before your workout. It's the best workout, pre-workout drink you could do. Just putting Accelerated Ancient Salt in your water, you'll get a better workout. But it also helps with the muscle contractions in the colon, known as peristalsis, and that's going to help move the stools. And it also helps cleanse the colon. Salt water is a natural colon cleanser, flushes out the waste materials, the toxins, the fecal material, helps relieve that constipation, and it stimulates the digestive secretion. So just by having the digestive juices and enzymes in the intestines, that can aid in the breakdown and movement of food and waste through the digestive system. So the Accelerated Ancient Salt has over 62 minerals in it. And then, of course, we enhance it with scalar frequencies to help with detoxification and intracellular hydration. You have the cell's hydration inside and the extracellular hydration outside. The extracellular is more inflammation and that edema, water retention, the kind that we don't want. We want that intracellular hydration, and the accelerated ancient salt is huge for that. So we talked about the microbes in the gut being a big cause of constipation. That's where the leaky gut bundle comes in. Megaspore biotic. This is a spore biotic, not a probiotic. It's not like the typical probiotic that has just a few strains and a lot of it. This has a brain. This goes down in there. It survives the stomach acid, and it wakes up and it looks around and says, you need this and that and none of this. And it's going to populate what I need, which is going to be different than what you need. It will do something different in your body. So this is going to help the gut heal up and help with those bowel movements, which with leaky gut is a big cause of constipation. You feed it with the Mega Pre. Tastes super yummy. I love this. But this is really important to feed the spores from the Megaspore and to make the results even quicker. I love these two together. You can add in the Mega Mucosa as well, but just with these two, they've shown weight loss in people that did not do one thing to their diet just by adding those in. And that makes sense because you're getting rid of the toxins, you're helping your poop, getting rid of the waste. And that is a part of that unexplained weight gain that so many people are suffering from. The Mega Mucosa goes with that, and that helps restore the tight junctions in the mucosal lining. And that is usually damaged by the gut issues that lead to constipation. So next is the accelerated cellular detox powder. This formula is improved. The old formula had psyllium husk, which can be good for some of the population, but actually make the constipation worse for some. We took it out and we replaced it with the chitosan, which helps remove excessive dietary fat and cholesterol from the body, which can cause constipation as well. But this gut superhero, I love this stuff. Doesn't taste bad, doesn't taste good. You just put it in your drink at night, chug it down, helps with sleep. It helps with constipation, reduces stomach and intestinal inflammation, which could be the cause of your constipation. If you have inflammation down there, that could be causing your constipation. Eliminates bloat, and it balances both diarrhea and constipation. So if you have diarrhea and you're like, I don't need anything that's going to help with constipation, this has Ayurvedic herbs in it that balance the doshas. So that is something that, whatever your body needs, it's going to do. So it helps absorb the daily toxins and years of buildup, boosting that nutrient absorption, alleviating all gut problems. You better believe I had a heaping scoop of this after that pork dinner that I had that I normally don't eat. And that was part of the reason I felt fine. Okay, so the holozymes. So here we go. Holozymes is the enzymes, digestive enzymes that you can take with food. I have spent thousands of dollars before this supplement on enzymes and nothing worked. Nothing worked. And I never carried one on my website because I didn't feel confident enough to say, well, this works for me. Holozymes is different. It's activated, meaning that it is more effective at breaking down the food in the gut, and that is going to help with constipation, gas, and bloat. I'm never bloated anymore. I used to be bloated every single day, and it helps with the usable nutrients from the food, alleviating that gas and bloat. And when the food isn't broken down properly, the larger food particles ferment in the gut, feeding the bad bacteria, leading to the discomfort and constipation issues. So it has something called AES, patented absorption technologies. It ensures that the enzymes are not destroyed by the stomach acid, which most are, activates each specific enzyme at the right time, and it also includes organic trace minerals to support your gut health. I love this. I will take extra if I'm eating something that I've never eaten before, if I'm out to dinner or something and I don't know what's in the meal. It is a no-brainer. And then what I add in is the HCL guard. I don't have it to show you at the moment, but the two combo has made it so that my digestion is quick, feels good, never bloated, and my constipation issues have literally gone away. So that HCL guard takes care of the low stomach acid, which most people have an issue with. The great thing about this one is if you take it and you have a little bit of an acidity, a little bit of an acid result, or I should say maybe a little burn in your tummy, that tells you you don't need as much as you're taking. So take less. So you can start with one and increase until you feel that. I take extra if I'm having a heavy meat meal because it really helps with that protein. It literally unravels the protein and makes it more bioavailable for your body to absorb. So the nutrient absorption is amazing for the muscles, the hair, the nails, and all of your cells. Butyrate. So butyrate is produced by your gut microbiomes, and it plays a crucial role in your overall health, digestion, brain function, disease protection. I have not talked much about this. We are going to have Stephen Wright back on the show to talk about the Tributyrin X, which is one option, and Jess from Body Bio to talk about hers, which all three are great. So there's sodium butyrate, calcium, magnesium butyrate. Why would you take one over the other? Honestly, you can try them all and see which one it feels better to you. If you are low in calcium and magnesium, maybe that's the one you use. If you are low in your sodium, maybe that's the one you use. Everybody's different. So this is something that we need in our modern day lifestyle because of the modern day diet. It repairs gut lining. It helps increase that GLP-1 from Ozempic. Everyone's doing Ozempic for weight loss. Well, butyrate produces more of that in your gut. Imagine that, your own GLP-1 without spending thousands and thousands of dollars. It improves constipation, supports that gut health, the tight junctions, helps with leaky gut, helps with detoxification, and it helps with the colon, the pH in the colon. Everywhere in our body, we have a different pH. That's a level of alkaline or acidity. And like I said, in your stomach, you want it very acidic. In different areas, you want it more alkaline. Well, it gets the colon to the proper pH level, reduces inflammation, helps with your DNA function, and it also supports that blood sugar regulation. Okay, my favorite thing, and I actually talked to someone who is traveling right now about this, because if you don't have your supplements with you, but you've got this device called the Hiwi that's this small, and all you do is you put your little TENS pads on your body anywhere, you can actually put it in your bra and walk around and work and do whatever you need to do, sleep with it. This machine is amazing. I will never go without it. On my trip, I used to come home from trips feeling bloated, water retention, just totally out of sorts. I now can travel and feel like $1 million the day I come home. And that is because of the Hiwi. This is the Hiwi Micro Gen device. It helps with over 60,000 different programs. It's the most cost-effective frequency device I've ever come across. I have the $16,000 to $17,000 biocharger that I love. I have amp coils that are upwards of $8,000. I have other devices that are a couple $1,000s. This Hiwi is less than $500. And if you told me that I could only have one device, I would take the Hiwi over all of them. And I actually got feedback from somebody yesterday who has all of those devices that I've talked about, and she cannot stop talking about how much she loves the Hiwi. But my point in the Hiwi is, say I'm on a trip and I programmed it for sleep, but then all of a sudden I have food poisoning and I'm constipated, or I have diarrhea, or I'm throwing up. I can change the program right there within 3 seconds. Say I have a daughter that has hormonal issues and she starts her period on a trip. I just change it for hormonal balance. I've used it for hypothyroidism, pain management, weight loss, brain fog, vision, hearing, skin, anti-aging, aura, chakras, all of that fun stuff. I have a very healthy friend, not constipated. She got the device. She texted me and she said, Sarah, I wanted to see if it worked day one. So I actually programmed it for constipation. And she goes, oh my gosh, I've never pooped so much the next morning. I didn't know I could have that much in me. And that was from day one. So the Hiwi device is fantastic for constipation. It's got multiple programs just for that, for colon issues, for parasites, for anything that could be causing the constipation, digestion, indigestion, nausea, liver function. All of that is something that you can address with the Hiwi. This is on the website, acceleratedhealthproducts.com. So definitely check that out if you need something more than what you're doing. And we need to talk about the lifestyle. So all of the pills, all of the devices are not going to get you to that optimal state without these lifestyle things. Fiber, you need to adjust it. Too much, too little can cause your issues. Get your fiber from the vegetables that are approved on the Accelerated Food Guide without the sulfur and the oxalates. Grains can trigger inflammation, leaky gut, malabsorption of nutrients, and worsen that constipation. Get rid of those sulfurs. This was my aha moment when I was told to get rid of sulfur, and I was eating tons of cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, because it's all keto, it's all low carb, right? Within 24 hours, I lost 4 pounds of just water weight and inflammation. So it also includes onions, garlic, and egg yolks. Eggs can be a superfood for some. It can be a trigger for others. Also, medication and supplements. So sulfur is in glutathione and NAC and MSM. So you need to be careful about your supplements too. You want to avoid the amyloid proteins. So these proteins are in chicken, pork, turkey, conventionally raised beef. They can cause gut issues, let the gut pathogens flourish and kill off the bad or the good bacteria, cause constipation. And this has been worsened because of the spike protein. If you ate chicken 20 years ago, not a big deal. It's not the chicken's fault. It is what is going on with these amylase misfolded proteins. And these misfolded proteins don't get broken down to be used in your body. The oxalates, spinach, almonds, berries, kale, and most nuts, these can cause brain fog, low thyroid. Low thyroid is going to cause constipation. My thyroid goes down, I can feel my whole body, everything is sluggish, including those bowel movements. Well, oxalates are a big part of hypothyroidism, and they can also cause UTIs, your genital issues, aches and pains, arthritis, and then high histamine foods. So histamines have become a problem for people that didn't have a problem before. So you want to exclude those like aged cheese, alcohol, fermented foods, even bone broth, avocado, banana. Some of these foods you think are healthy and they could be triggering. You can use the HistaHarmony as to help with your high histamine foods. If you are going to be eating histamines, that might help as well. Get rid of the processed foods, guys. They're causing so many issues. They're not going to help your constipation issues, and that includes the seed oils and the inflammatory fats. They're going to fatten up your fat cells, cause inflammation in the gut, the intestines, constipation. Focus on that wild animal protein, the deer, the venison, elk, bison, lamb, wild fish, all of that is going to give you the nutrients that we were once looking for in the vegetables, but also that amazing protein that supports your body and your function, your good thyroid, your metabolism, all of that. Exercise, get a rebounder, do some jumping jacks, get a jump rope. It doesn't have to be much. Walking, that is going to help constipation more than anything. I have been introducing, now that it's summer and it's light later, walking after dinner. And right like that, as soon as I walk for 10 minutes, I've got to go to the bathroom. It helps with the constipation. So that is something that is very important. And then use the Accelerated Food Guide. It's there for free. It's on the website. It helps you navigate that healthy diet without feeling restricted. There's so many foods to choose from, and it clearly labels what foods have histamines, the amyloid, sulfur, mold, oxalates, And I know you're thinking, well, I don't know about this wild animal protein thing. Markets have it now. Ground lamb, ground bison, use it just like you would use beef, and you will feel a huge difference. Much easier for you to digest than the conventionally raised beef and pork. Alrighty, there was a lot there. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for tuning in today. If you need my help, you don't know where to start, just contact me through the website, sarabantahealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you, and join the free group coaching on Telegram. There's no downside. I share daily tips and tools to improve your health. I answer your questions. You'll hear feedback from others. It's amazing. There's more information on my website at sarabantahealth.com. And don't forget to follow me on social media at Accelerated Health Products. You can catch this podcast on over 100 platforms. So anywhere you look, including Spotify, iTunes, and iHeartRadio, just search Accelerated Health TV and Radio Show. And I'm on a mission to share my healing message with everyone who's ready to listen. So please help me with that goal. Share this podcast with some friends who need my help. I'm live every Monday and Tuesday, and I post a third one on Thursday. So make sure you subscribe, and you can use coupon WELCOME10 to try any or all of these supplements, including the Hiwi, on the website. Thanks again for joining us here, and have a great week.